the Second City, Hollywood. How you doing?
Yeah!
Cell phones. Take note of the emergency exit. Now make some noise for Uncomfortably Numb.
Right, I've got a vanilla latte for Micheline. Vanilla latte for Micheline.
It's just pronounced Michelle.
Great.
I actually asked for extra foam. Could I get that?
yoga class the other day. It hasn't started yet. It's dark, it's quiet. And then I hear, ew, so dark in here. Well, the lights are on, she's talking on her phone, she's planning her manicure. And I turn to look and see who would walk into a room and think that their wants and needs superseded the wants and needs of everybody else. And it was this young, beautiful, blonde, white woman. And ordinarily, when something like this would happen, I would think to myself, this bitch. But that day, I turned and I thought to myself, this white bitch. And that scared me. I spent the rest of that yoga class being like, oh man, am I racist? I don't think I'm racist. Nah, I got white friends. And that's the kind of shit that racist people say. So that sat with me and it really bothered me. And then I realized what it was. This current administration is given real big permission to be mad at each other, to hate each other, to look at each other's differences and be upset about it and be mad at people about it, but I won't do it. I won't give in. And I will try so much harder to look at people and see our similarities, even if we don't agree. And I want everyone in this room today to do the same. So please tell me that you will try harder. Let me hear you say, I will try harder!
I will try harder!
Me too.
Hey, Hector.
Oh, hi.
I thought it was going to be late.
Yeah.
My Uber took forever.
Yeah. You could have told me we could carpool. There's plenty of room in the Tesla.
Yeah.
You got any fun weekend plans?
Yeah, this weekend I'm going on a Zen retreat where we just eat kale and sit in silence.
Okay.
It's gonna be great.
Good, yeah. I'm gonna go to this wedding this weekend. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna try out this new dance move called the Dip. Yeah. I'm the dance guy.
Nice.
Yeah. It's gonna be good.
So sorry I'm late, guys.
Oh, hi.
I was in that and another March for Our Lives. Who drank all my kombucha?
Guys, let me tell you something. I'm the last person in the country to see it, but Black Panther was amazing! Get me 2 tickets to Wakanda.
Did you hear about Hector?
What?
He got fired. He grabbed Sharon's boob in the elevator and fired on the spot.
What?
Yeah, good.
Jesus. Who's wrong with him?
Hashtag beats.
Right.
Hello, everyone!
Hey!
I just got back from a romantic vacation in Hawaii. We found a fantastic room on our Airbnb.
You know, I really like Steven. How is he doing?
Steven is great, but Steven prefers the pronoun they.
Yeah. Oh, hey, I just got an alert on my iPhone 10. Apparently they've picked up Roseanne for another 4 seasons, and I don't know how to feel about that.
Speaking of which, there's a meeting today. Don't forget cisgender sensitivity in the transgender workplace.
Yes.
Don't be late.
So that was an American Office in 2018. Can somebody shout out a decade in the last 50 years, please?
1961.
Okay, 60s. Okay, got
Hey,
what's up?
you know what? I didn't think I was going to make it here in time. My pogo stick just fell apart.
Oh, you could have told me. We could have carpooled. My Ford Pinto just got out of the dealership.
I wish I'd known.
Oh, God. Oh, do you have any fun weekend plans?
Oh, fun weekend plans, you bet.
Oh.
I'm gonna go to a swingers party. Throwing our keys in the wall.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to this wedding this weekend. I'm gonna try this new dance move called the Hustle.
So sorry I'm late, guys. I was protesting the Vietnam War.
Oh,
But
God.
I have a feeling like this is going to be a really short and just war.
Guys, I just saw the most amazing movie, West Side Story. It was so fucking good, and they had white people playing other races. And I really something about that just makes me feel good.
Hey, did you all hear about Leonard?
What?
He titty-tat her tits.
Yeah!
Susan's tits.
Susan's got the best tits!
They're getting married.
Nice! Yeah! Do it! I know you're interested!
I'm just gonna stand right here because I've been listening to Brother Malcolm. He told me I don't take your shit.
On one of the 3 stations, man. God, I guess the fighting's getting worse, man. Oh, John Kerry, what a hero.
There's a meeting later on, and at the end of the day, Black Panthers, how to pick them out of a group.
Can we get another decade?
1920s.
Oh, the 20s. Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Gosh golly gee, Mr. Ortiz. I'm sorry I'm late, but my horse died on the way to work.
Michelle, you should have told me. I want to pick you up, though. Do you have any fun weekend plans?
Oh, fun weekend plans. We're just gonna go drink some bathtub gin. Stay up late until 4 in the morning.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go to this wedding, and I'm gonna do this new dance called the Charleston.
Excuse me, pardon me, excuse me, pardon me. I'm so sorry that I'm late. You see, I got excited about a rally for women to vote, but then I realized that I'm Mexican. Hey, who drank all my hooch?
Hey, everybody. And when I say everybody, I mean the one man here. Charlie Chaplin in it, and they killed only 4 people during the production. It was fantastic.
Gentlemen, did you hear? Did you hear about Leonard?
No, go on.
Yeah, Leonard barked in Susan's boobs. They're all taking turns on the 9th floor.
I'll tell you, Susan's a real looker now that she's got polio.
I'm sweeping and tap dancing.
Last night when you were taking the garbage, I thought you were stealing our garbage.
Oh, don't mind me. I'm just gonna drink out my water fountain.
Oh, say, look, a bunch of people from the 20th floor are throwing themselves to their grisly death. What could have happened with the stock market today?
That reminds me, there's a meeting later today. We're going over women's rights, voting. That's it.
A sociopathic narcissist, misogyny, and gaslighting. My first marriage. Nothing I wore was the right thing. My makeup wasn't correct. I had to have long blonde hair, no bangs, and I had to be thin. He critiqued even my calorie intake, and this was love. But what I really felt was depression, a deep, cold, crushing, solitary depression. And any concern I came to him with, any need, anything, was met with, did you take your pills? So nothing was legitimate that I felt. So his keys in the door was the scariest sound I could possibly hear. And one time he actually packed his bag and put his bag by the door to remind me to get better, to not get sick again, otherwise he would leave. So that was the most frightening noise I could hear. So that was love. No, it wasn't. That was not love. I know this because just a few nights ago, I heard the keys in the door, and I was happy because the person coming through that door is someone that loves me and roots for me every day to love myself. And it takes time. I'm learning, I'm trying, I'm smart, but it's gonna take time for me to love again.
I just want to say this has been a really fun first date.
Are you kidding me? I was thinking the same thing. Wow. Okay. Wow. Oh, man. I just didn't want to say it because I didn't know if you were feeling the same way.
Totally.
Well, I gotta be honest. Before we move forward, I just want to let you know that I brought my lawyer with me.
That's unbelievable because I brought my lawyer with me.
That is such a relief. Oh my gosh. I just want to make sure that my words and my actions aren't taken in the wrong way. Okay?
Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, I just wanted a legal witness in case you murder me.
Oh, of course. No. Right, totally. Yeah.
All rise.
Counselor,
Counselor.
you may be seated.
All right. So first order, we have an agreement based solely on the text message, the original memorandum sent by your client. See you at 7:30, smiley face emoji. Looking forward to it, smiley face emoji, followed with another smiley face emoji. All parties sign on consented byline.
Pardon me 1 second. 3 emojis. I just want to offer a point of clarification. The it my client was referring to in the statement, looking forward to, it was merely dinner and nothing predatory. Also, we would like to add an addendum to the terms and conditions of the evening, whereby in which, if our clients are enjoying themselves, they will head to the ice cream establishment I Dream of Creamy, and your client will be entitled to any ice cream novelty of her choice not exceeding $10. You agree? Sign the consented by line?
I object.
Sustained.
Time to review this before all parties sign.
We concur.
Booyah, cool runnings, call me now. Welcome to the Jamaican restaurant where every correct answer is Yaman. What can I do for you today?
Actually, we'll just have off the record, a dirty martini. And for the record, my client will have a water with a slice of lemon.
Fantastic. My client will be abstaining from saying the phrase "Yaman," citing the entrapment case of Marley v. Whalers. Off the record, I will have a martini glass filled with Dr. Pepper. On the record, my client will have a water.
And no further questions, the defense rests. This is a law joke.
So Hector, some preliminary questions. How many one-night stands have you had?
You will see here these 3 affidavits signed by former partners, which prove correlation that my client does not have one-night stands, as every one of his sexual partners has gone on to be a long-term relationship. All 3 of them.
Very well.
Soshi, same question. How many one-night stands have you had?
My client has had exclusively monogamous relationships, with one exception, and international law applies. It was between her freshman and sophomore year in Spain with a man named Esteban.
There's really nothing we can do.
Just jumped off the bobsled, man. Can I get you any appetizers to start?
Objection.
I'm a bus man, bitch.
This is fun.
on you. He is if he's doing these 5 things. Clickbait!
If you have eaten 8 out of these 42 foods, you may be obsessed with cheese! Clickbait! Clickbait! Clickbait!
Are any of these celebrities dead? Click here to find out.
Children staring at aluminum foil causes autism? Click here to find out.
Does voting in blue states cause cancer? Answer is yes. Clickbait.
Country and to be relatively conscious is to be in a constant state of rage all of the time. That's a quote from James Baldwin. And like I tell you guys, for those of you that don't know, being black is a full-time job. Especially when you're a black male, you're always villainized and criminalized, and you don't ever get an opportunity to take time off. You don't get a time to not be black. The only time that even comes remotely close to that is when you come home. And when you come home, you're able to take your blackness off and you're just a man. You don't have to worry about it. And for me personally, every time I walk through my door to my beautiful wife and I'm alive, I view that as a blessing because so many of us are being killed unnecessarily. So, but it's so easy to focus on the negative of that and to be reactive instead of being proactive. And so one day, I just thought to myself, I said, Mike, you're in the middle of a black Hollywood renaissance, and you should enjoy yourself. I don't know if you guys have seen Insecure with Issa Rae, but just the way that she's lighting us on television, showing cinematographers how we should be lit on TV and film. Something as simple as that we love. Donald Glover with Atlanta. I don't know if you guys saw the most recent episode of Atlanta. That shit was weird, but it was ambitious and it was very, very good. And we might even get our own Black James Bond and Idris Elba. And I'd be remiss if I did not mention, as of yesterday, Black Panther is the number 3 highest grossing film of all time.
Oh my God. Woohoo!
So, I'm gonna say it. I love being black. It's pretty good to be black right now.
That you're supposed to fly over, man.
I know, but just take it as a positive affirmation. We actually get to see a lot of the country we don't normally get to see.
Yeah, but this is Alabama.
Just relax. Just okay. Pull over here. No sudden movements. Okay, your hands are on the dash. Okay, slow movements. So roll down the window. Relax yourself. Okay.
Good evening, gentlemen.
Yeah, good evening. Yeah.
You fellas don't look like you're from around here.
No.
You know how we know you're not from around here? California license plate. Golden State.
Now we're from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Oh, Los Angeles. They asked me some of you fellas being from Hollywood. You see that movie, 3 Billboards Outside of Ebbing, Missouri?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. What did you think of Sam Rockwell's portrayal of police officers? Alcoholic, idiot, racist.
I mean, I thought it was good. He won awards for it, so. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good myself. I preferred Lady Bird and thought that was more deserving of an academy. But I did like 3 Billboards.
You see, my partner here is more of a coming of age type of man. Me myself, I like a nice slice of Americana. After watching that movie, I told my partner, I'm like, do you think I could write something like that?
To which I responded, you never know until you try. And I surreptitiously purchased him a copy of Save the Cat. Which I've been told is the industry standard screenwriting book. I handed it to him and said, hey, go for it.
I know what a B story is. I've been so inspired, now I'm here planning the move to Los Angeles.
Which makes me sit here torn, 1, wanting to support my partner, but 2, not being able to imagine a life where I'm here all by my lonesome. So I've got to ask you gentlemen a question. What's the weather like there?
I mean, it's 72 and sunny, warm in the day, cool at night.
Yeah. And then in the fall, sometimes, you'll get random, streaks of 100-degree weather.
Oh, you're not going to apply for that. No, you want to be cold in the fall. You don't want to have a pumpkin spice latte and put on a 100-degree day. Let me ask you something. What's traffic like there in Los Angeles, California?
It's really hit or miss, but it's usually pretty bad. The 101's just terrible.
Yeah, but with Waze, you can find different shortcuts. I listen to podcasts in the car, so.
Oh, you're gonna listen to a podcast? Mark, you gotta put up with 10 minutes of him whining about cats or his car. Not good. It's a good interview. I'm gonna ask you another question. And I want you to think real long and hard before you answer this.
Okay. Yeah.
Is it difficult to make friendships in Los Angeles, California?
I don't deal well with loneliness.
I can't imagine a world in which my buddy wants to go out and grab himself a Cinnabon and he's got to do it all alone.
Some people are flaky in LA, but I met Hector here in improv class.
Oh, you want to take an improv class? You take improv and zip and that wood out of here. You got friends right here. You got friends right here.
Why did you buy me that book?
Because I got a complicated relationship. I want to pull you in and push you away at the same time. I'm like Bruce Wayne with Nightwing, you know? There again, no anyway!
Jesus.
You fellas looking for a roommate?
Anyone, anytime, anywhere!
Everyone stay seated if you are ready for a change today! Now, Esther and myself are going to give you the keys to success with conflict resolution in a sensitive society. Step 1. You are going to identify and acknowledge your person of conflict. We are in a conflict. It's just a dramatization. It's not. Now tell me, I love this hat. Where did you get it?
None of your business.
Agreed. Conflict closed.
Alright, step 2. Let's say you and I just had a conflict. Tell me something. How does that make you feel?
Upset.
See that? What I'm doing right here? 78% of conflicts can be resolved with a simple, polite nod. For example,
Esther, I want a divorce.
yes. Estelle,
Yes?
I think you
Conflict closed. Step 3. Now here's where it gets real, folks. Now tell me about a time that you had a conflict with someone.
Parking.
Yep. No.
Someone's parking in my
I hear you.
I hear you hearing him.
I hear you hearing me hear him. Conflict closed.
Substitute teacher, which just means I go in when the real teacher is feeling sick or still in Vegas. And for that reason, I do not want kids. I feel older saying this, or traditional saying this, however you want to say it, but I go into these classrooms and not that old. I was in middle school not too long ago. And the things that these kids say to each other is just, it blows my mind. And I know, like, when I was in middle school, we'd like say things and be like, oh, looking back, that was pretty dumb. But I come in and these kids are full force calling each other pussies and faggots and retards. And I'm just like, what? It's bizarre to me. And I'm not trying to scare you if you're a parent sending your kids to school, but it's really different. And I'm sitting there, and especially in this climate that we're in, of what kids are doing when they go to schools and they don't feel like they fit in, or they feel like they're being bullied too much, it terrifies me because it's really happening. And I remember I was sitting with this class, and I was just leveled with them, and I just said, hey, I know I'm a sub, and you're probably never gonna see me again. Maybe not in this classroom. But can I encourage you all to kind of say things a little bit more nicely to each other? Because I get it's not their fault. They're seeing it or hearing it from somewhere else, and it's just this chain reaction. And I know this sounds cliche and cheesy, but kids are always watching. They're imitating what they see. They're saying things that they've heard before. Because when I walk into a classroom and a 9-year-old's saying you're a faggot, I'm like, where did you hear that? So I encourage you all to go out there and kind of be good examples for each other and realize, yeah, sometimes we joke, but sometimes the people watching don't know that we're joking. And sometimes those words and those phrases push people to their limits so much that they only have one thing in mind that they want to do.
And the princess kissed. There you go.
That's a good one.
Yeah. Nice.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah. What's up?
Why do people kiss?
All right. Well, let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the guys on the street, about a guy and a girl and the stars in the sky. And it starts with a kiss, finding love on a night like this. There you go.
Got it.
Yeah, you got it.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah, what's up?
My science teacher, Mr. Maselli, he's married to a guy.
Yeah, okay, well, let me tell you about the birds and the bees and the flowers and the trees, about a guy and a girl, or a guy with a guy, or a girl with a girl. And it all starts together, and it starts with a kiss, finding love on a night like this. Okay, good.
Hey, Dad.
Okay, yeah, well, hi.
On Mom's favorite show, RuPaul's Drag Race, Mom says that RuPaul is a man and a woman. What?
Yeah. Okay, well. you about the birds and the bees and the flowers with the trees that are dressed like guys, but also with girls, and don't know the difference of different sexes from male to female. There you go, that's all, because it starts with a kiss.
Hey, Dad. That was helpful, but I feel like there's more.
Yeah.
Can you just tell me everything?
Everything?
Everything.
Okay. Well, let me tell you about the birds and the bees, or the flowers with the trees that identify as a bee, that is different from the flower because the flower is a bee, not masquerading as a bee. There's a bird that needs more than just the perch from the tree, and there's no rock on the ground who has no company to keep, and the rock flicks himself away. Nobody else. And there's the bird that needs more, and there's the thing where the flower and springs, and the bee comes and sings, and the bee flies away, 'cause the flower always stays, and no one knows who has the right of way about a girl and a guy, or a girl who was a guy, or a guy who is a girl. Yeah, that's pretty much it, 'cause it starts with a kiss. Finding love on a night like this. There you go. Hey. Okay, good night.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah.
So it's just about love.
Yeah. I'm a second-generation immigrant with strict and loving parents who had expectations thrust upon him from the moment that he came onto this planet. They were go to school, get good grades, get a great career, and get married and start a family of my own. Well, I was always a great student, so that's great. I even went to college and got my bachelor's degree. I was a glutton for punishment, got my master's degree as well. And now I'm just stuck on the last part. I'm gay, which is a fact that I shied away from most of my adult life because I felt I was going to be considered less than and have parents that weren't going to care about me because of that. Fast forward to 2018, I have an amazing job that I love. I have an amazing partner who supports me in everything that I do. And surprisingly enough, I have parents that love me just the way I am. So my hope is that everyone gets to be who they're meant to be. That to me is the real American dream.
Hi, I'm Pete.
And I'm also Pete.
And we're real excited to tell you about
Pete and Pete's Bedsheet Warehouse liquidation sale.
This is my wife, Emily.
And that's my wife, Emily.
And only we are slashing prices in half.
Yeah, giving the savings right back to you, our customer.
This ain't your daddy's warehouse liquidation bedsheet sale.
And that's a good point, Pete, because maybe your daddy was raised in a time where tolerance wasn't that much of a thing.
These bed sheets are for beds, not for costumes. Not as
Anything like
You
that.
got a king size? Come on down.
You find yourself tired at night? Come on in.
You sleep inside? Come on down.
You go to bands at all? Come on in.
Come on down. We
Yeah.
have some of the highest thread counts in all of the county.
Yeah.
Which is why our sheets were recognized on the local news.
Apparently, Pete and I have become the inadvertent supplier of the Akron area Ku Klux Klan.
We would never want these sheets to remind you of fire, of hate, of racism.
Yeah, and if you're cutting them up for that, you're not a scary ghost, you're just dead inside.
You're already dead, which reminds me, during Halloween we do have great sales as well.
So come on down.
Come on down.
Come on in.
Come on down.
Yeah, Emily.
Don't forget to tell them about the sheets that I embroidered.
Yeah, you want your name on a pillowcase? Emily can make it if your name is Ted.
Just Ted.
Emily makes the bed more personalized, and right in the corner it says
Ted. It's bed for Ted. Ted's beds and Ted's.
That's actually how they caught us on the news. At the little tip of the hood it said,
We don't need to go back into that. So come on in.
come on down.
Wait, hold on.
Okay.
Tell them about the things that I also can crochet.
Gotcha. Do you have a little mouse? Maybe it needs
Okay,
a
thanks,
time.
honey.
Great. Bye.
Why are we still so surprised every time we buy the lie? Why don't we pursue the truth even when it's hard to do?
Welcome to Linda's house for time. We're glad to have you.
I saw this in Groupon and it was only $35 for 90 minutes. I was like, sign me up.
Yes, we're glad you're here. We just want you to relax. We're gonna start with some leg stretches. Just breathe in and exhale. It's a good stretch. It's a good stretch. Yes, just bring that back down. Lovely, lovely. Of course, we are going to do some traditional Thai massage, which does involve the feet.
Oh, I'm getting it. Exactly what I wanted.
Just keep breathing. Keep breathing deep. You've got a lot of knots up here.
Yes.
Deep.
It's been a long week.
And now we will work your neck.
I know what all of you have been thinking. You know what's missing from this conversation about 2018 are the thoughts and views of the straight white male. Really come. 2018 has been an interesting year for me. I heard this amazing quote early in the year that was, if you've grown up with privilege, equality feels like oppression. And I never really considered myself privileged, and that's the problem with privilege. You're not aware of it until you, or rather, if you have it, you're not aware of it. It's kind of like oxygen. You don't realize how precious it is until it's taken away. So this has been the year that I've tried to be aware of my privilege and listen a lot and pay attention to things without just sort of being like, well, actually, because I think I may have been guilty of mansplaining in the past. It's also hard because I am a teacher, so I'm constantly mansplaining, but not mansplaining. You know what I mean. Working with these folks has been very helpful, though. It's been very eye-opening and educational. There is one thing I will not shut up about, though, and that is this. You can be pro-feminist and hate The Last Jedi. Because that movie was fucking garbage. Put the lights back on, Bentley. That's not my loop. They changed the character. I mean, they killed the guy.
Welcome to Pan-African Studies 201. I am Professor Kareem. We'll talk about sensitive subjects such as racism,
Yes.
discrimination and social justice.
Yes.
Before we get into that, let's go around the room and introduce ourselves.
Okay, hi, my name's Blair Wallen, and I'm taking this class because growing up, my favorite movie was The Matrix. Me and my buddies used to all watch it, and their favorite character was Neo, played by Keanu Reeves, but my favorite character was Morpheus, played by Lawrence Fishburne, and I was just hoping to get to the bottom of that.
We'll touch on that later.
Hi, my name's Hector. I am Nicaraguan descent, and I just want to know what other minorities go through, so that's why I'm here. Yeah, welcome, bro. Thanks.
Similar, and my name is Sochi, and I signed up for Latino Studies class that was canceled, so I wanted to check this one out. Thank you.
Hey, yo, what up? Check it. I'm David. You can call me D-Easy. Recently, I've noticed that I'm really woke, but I'm taking this class to be woke AF. Know what I'm saying?
And you, miss?
My name is Oprah, and I love book clubs.
Oprah, out of curiosity, is that your legal name?
It is now. My birth name was Karen. I changed it in the 90s in the height of Oprahmania.
There it is. Okay. We'll actually discuss some of these issues through scenarios. So these are scenarios I've actually taken from the headlines. These are all situations that have actually happened. I'm not making any of this up. But for our first scenario, I will need 2 volunteers.
Oh, listen.
Okay. Oprah, you will be African American woman.
Oh, yes. This kind of class.
D-Easy will
Yes.
be Caucasian male.
What?
We are at a supermarket, and I am the cashier. Sir, that will be $147.90. Will you be paying with credit card today?
Well, which credit card would you like? I have Capital One, Visa, American Express. You can pick. Honky, 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 honky.
Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Will you be paying with credit card today?
Yes, I will.
Okay, I need to see your form of ID.
Ooh. Before you see it, how old do you think I am?
Okay, she missed the point there. You can take it. Discrimination there. There was some discrimination between the white male and the black woman. I did not ask the white male for his ID, but yet I asked the black woman for her ID. It happens every day. Yes.
Is this class, are you going to continue showing the white people how they don't understand what's going on?
100%.
And we'll be staying.
Yeah, so with packing groceries there, you know that show Family Matters? In the opening montage, Eddie Winslow's bagging groceries, and then they never touch on that for the whole rest of the series. And I was just kind of hoping to get to the bottom of that.
We'll unpack that later. Okay, so our second scenario, I will need two more volunteers.
Give me a chance.
Oprah, you will be African American woman. D-Easy, you will be white Caucasian male. We're at a bank. I'm your loan officer. You have been approved for this bank loan. There you are, sir.
Well, of course I've been approved. My credit is excellent. Honky, honky, honky.
Hello, ma'am. Everything seems to be in order here, but yet I'm going to deny you this loan.
Oh, you know what? That's fine. I hate the HOA. Ugh.
Again, take a seat. Again, there's discrimination between African Americans and white Americans, all based on race, assuming that she won't be able to pay the loan outright. There's been lawsuits over this, yes.
You know that show Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Well, the family's name is Banks, and they've got a lot of money, and I was just wondering, is that the writers having a little fun with us?
Just for me. Which amphib was your favorite amphib?
There were 2 amphibs? Oh, am I racist?
Moving on to the third scenario, I will need 2 more volunteers. Oprah, will you please be African American woman? D-Easy, can you please be Caucasian male? We are at a car, you have locked your keys in the car. I am a police officer. Sir, it seems to be that you blocked your keys inside the car.
Well, it doesn't matter. It's a Tesla. Let me just use my fingerprint.
Okay. It seems to be that there's keys inside this car.
Yes, it's my car. I locked my car.
Put your hands where I can see them. Get down on the ground.
Did you like my nails? I just had them done.
Sit down. Again, this is a clear case of discrimination. Are none of you getting this? Are none of you understanding what is happening in our country? If this stuff doesn't go unchecked, it will continue to happen.
Oh man, this is such a moving speech, but I think it's gonna need a little musical background.
Why not?
Alright!
Look, guys, this race isn't a costume that you can put on and off, okay? There's a difference between cultural appreciation and cultural appropriation, okay? So, and here's the thing. We have to listen to one another. If we don't listen to one another, then we'll never be able to get anywhere. And also, you guys can't be me, and I can't be you.
We can try to listen.
And that's going to be a big change for some people, but we can stop the hate and learn to love again.
As long as we start looking at each other's similarities instead of each other's differences and promise to try harder.
For my students.
For the people that feel weird.
Hey, we want to accomplish this great thing called the American Dream. We're going to take a little bit more empathy from all of us. We need some
Real world! Empathy! Can you phone and look at me? Real world! Empathy! Things that you wanna see. Real world! Empathy! Real world! Empathy! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming to